Now it's the first day of August. Heat index about 103. It's cooled off to about 98 right now. It's getting late in the evening. I got a box. We're gonna do a little unboxing, but I'm not gonna try to sell you something. It's time to plant. I'll show you what I mean. Right now in Zone 7, I know my first frost date, somewhere between 60 and 75 days away. So I got some zucchini that says 37 days. Same with the summer squash. We planted these squash in July, and they're starting to produce pretty nice squash. I also have a yellow one down in here that's got about another day to go. I got some romaine lettuce that doesn't mind the heat, and it's going to be hot for another month. You can also plant some bush cucumbers, and being the 1st of August is a good time to get in another round of cucumbers. You got plenty of time. I'm going to plant some arugula, and there's still time to plant beans and peas. And you still actually have time to get your pole beans in. Obviously, we planted these quite a little while ago. We've been harvesting a lot, but look what we just planted. And I planted this little patch of green beans less than 3 weeks ago. And these beans we also planted about 3 weeks ago, and they're just about getting ready to flower. So we got a lot of time, and they're going to produce a lot of nice beans. Peas are another wonderful crop to get started in August. Both the peas that we planted by the gate and this batch that we planted where we took round 1 of the corn out, they're all germinated. And they've only been in the ground a few days. You've heard that saying, teach an old dog new tricks. I've been thinking on how we can protect some of these young plants from some of these bugs. A lampshade or cloche. Any kind of bell-shaped deal. I didn't know people actually made these. I was trying to figure out how I could make something like this. These aren't very expensive. I went ahead and bought some just to try them. And if we like them, I'll tell you where I got them. But this isn't very heavy. I like that. And I'll be able to put that light bug screen over here. So we're gonna plant today. And I'm gonna plant under these. Let me lay out a couple of these, then we'll go ahead and plant what we like to eat. And just look at the size of that melon next to my head. 1, 2, all 3 of these are just massive. If you remember, we were looking at these leaves just 2 or 3 days ago, and they were just so wilty and floppy. I told you once it got a little shade on it and it cooled off a little bit, they'd come right back. Even though it's hotter outside right now than it was then, in the shade, they plump right back up. Now all I did is pull this mulch back, and these have what appears to be some kind of a rubber coating on there, a paint of some kind. So watering through these are going to be really easy. At the head of our line, I put some arugula. Then I've got a couple yellow squashes. Then I've got a couple yellow zucchinis. That'll take care of our zucchinis. We've got green zucchini growing here, and we just picked that other green zucchini. And then I've got some romaine lettuce down here. And being in Zone 7, where we got 65 to 75 days before our first frost, everything that I planted here, the pack said, they're going to mature in 40 to 45 to 50 days. So that's what you want to look at for what you're planting. That and what you like to eat. Well, look at that. We set that there. That ought to keep the bugs out of there. Once they germinate, we'll go ahead and use these. But you know, right now where it's so hot you can't even breathe out here, it's a good time to take a look at our ghost and our scorpions. That one's almost ready. And the beans that came up on their own, they've been producing nice beans right along. You can do this too. Not too late to put stuff in the ground. You can also start a bunch of your brassicas inside. It's going to be about a month before it cools off enough to put them outside in your cold frames and your winter garden. But you always want to keep an eye out. If you have something that's breaking or bending over, you might want to get some kind of trellis or stake on it. And these banana peppers are just wonderful. They are nice and sweet. And this one has just bent over. It didn't break, but it needs a little support. So I got a stake here. And these do self-pollinate just like tomatoes, so you want them to be able to move a little bit in the wind. Well, a bee will come by once in a while and help pollinate them. But just look at that. I mean, that's gorgeous. I'm going to take that one. Sweet pepper. You can do this too. Just come out in your garden and start eating. This one's not quite ready, but I think it will be pretty soon. And I hope I gave you some ideas on what you can put in the ground in August. The first thing is you need to know when your first frost date is. And the second thing you need to know is what you want to eat. Because you still have time. There's a bunch of tasty things out there that'll have plenty of time to germinate, grow, produce fruit. You'll be able to come out here and just eat in your garden. Till next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.